morning, everybody, and welcome. Please have a seat. Thank you all for coming out today. I would like to welcome our town manager, Melissa Arrighi, our selectman, Dick Quintal, and Matt Moratori, our rep. Thank you guys for coming so much. Welcome to Post 40. Welcome to VFW Post 1822, Nick Cufraggio and his family, and all of our participants, and of course, all of our veterans. A heartfelt thank you from me to all of you. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our Gold Star families who have made the ultimate sacrifice. At this time, I would like to ask everybody to stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Phil Ryan, chaplain. At this time, I'd like to invite Phil Ryan, Post 40, to deliver the opening prayer.
Eternal God, we praise Thee again for the remembrance of those who have fought and died for the great land, America. We thank Thee for Thy providence that has made war against this nation to cease. Grant unto us a continued blessing of peace with all mankind. As we meet here for the purpose of setting aside a day to remember all those who have paid the price, accept our gratitude and make us more worthy of their sacrifices. Help us to follow more closely Thy ways, that peace and goodwill abound throughout the world. Thank You for the many blessings which Thou hast given to our country, and grant that we may be able to use them better to the service. Lead us all to like-mindedness and fellowship, which makes the establishment and maintenance of right and abiding peace. Through our faith in Thy power, we make our prayer. Amen.
Please welcome Abby Hooper and Maddie Alberts, who will sing our national anthem. Where is it? Oh. Oops, I'm missing a few names. I'm so sorry. Please stand.
Going on, please have arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous light o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Absolutely beautiful job. I'd like to recognize a few people that are with us today, and I don't see him right now, but Colonel Connors usually comes down to our, there he is. Come on up here, sir. He comes faithfully every year to our event. He travels from New Hampshire. It's always an honor to have him here. Another special shout out I'd like to give to one of our World War II veterans who is always here, usually with us today as well, but he's doing another veterans event, and that's Everett Landman. He's 99 years old, and he was on the USS Bunker Hill when it was attacked by 2 kamikaze pilots on May 11th of 1945. The casualties exceeded 600, to include 352 dead, an additional 41 missing, and 264 wounded. The ship became one of the most heavily damaged carriers to survive the war. The Bunker Hill earned 11 battle stars and the prestigious Medal President Unit Citation Award with a Bronze Star. He is a true gem, and I'm honored to call him a friend. And coming from Springfield today is Jody Paycheck, the past commander of American Legion for the state. Thank you, Jody. And as every year, we have passing of veterans that they're all very special to us, but this year, in 2020, at the end of, or in December, we lost Jesse Jackson, who was 99 years old, and he was a Montfort Point Marine. Very, very, very nice man. He passed away in December of 2020 at the age of 99. Also, Colonel Joseph Murray, who is another constant at our parades, passed in July 2021 at the age of 77. Please keep these veterans in your thoughts today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce our very special guest of honor, Nick Cufraggio and his family. Dad Mark, Mom Suzanne, and brother Andrew. I'd like to invite Andrew up at this time to share some of his thoughts on his brother Nick.
I'm a little taller.
This is probably gonna be better for you.
Hi, everyone. Hear me? Good. Okay. Well, my mom was asked to do the speech today, but she usually cries, so I'm doing it. So I guess you can give you guys some background on Nicholas and where his military journey began. So he really thought he wanted to be a Marine when he was 10 years old or 11 years old. That's right in the time when 9/11 happened. So right after that occurred, he knew that's what he wanted to do the rest of his life, or at least begin his journey in the military. So 2009, he graduated from high school from the South, and he went off to the Marine Corps. He was a fantastic, fantastic Marine. Through Parris Island, he became honor graduate, which is obviously a feat that not many, can get. And he decided to do infantry in 2010. He deployed to Afghanistan. And about 4 months into his deployment, he suffered traumatic brain injury from a grenade blast from the Taliban. And it was obviously a very hard time for the Cufraggio family, for us, and for all of his friends and other family. And we were told at that point he had a 2% chance to live, which is unbelievable. Think about that. And here he is. He loves the attention, so you guys just keep on. Yeah, so when he was hurt in 2010, we obviously didn't know what was in store for the next 10 years now. I can sure say it's definitely been a bumpy road, but we're just obviously fortunate that he's here with us. We're more fortunate than a lot of families, unfortunately over the past 21 years and even prior wars to that. So, yeah, he's been fantastic for the past 10 years. And we've seen, with a brain injury, you never really know. And going from 2% to now, you never really know what's in store for you and for him. You don't know what the recovery's going to be. It's really unpredictable. So what we've seen, the progress over the past, he came home in 2012, so he's been with us for, 9 years now. Yeah. And when we first had him come home, obviously it's different because we never experienced something like that, But watching the progress he's made over the past 9 years is just mind-boggling. And again, you know, we're obviously so fortunate to have him here, and he's still progressing each day, so you never say never. You know, whenever someone says that 2% obviously is a really low number, but you never really know, especially with brain injury. So he's making progress now, and we are so fortunate to have him here, and he definitely loves going out and experience events like this. So not only to him as a veteran, I wanted to say thank you to all the veterans here right now from, you know, past and where it's currently right now. Thank you guys. And, you know, in light of everything that's been going on recently in the past year or so, I want you all to know that we do love you and we appreciate everything that you've done to keep us safe and to keep us safe now. So thank you guys again.
Thank you so much, Andrew. So this year, we would like to present each of our veterans in attendance a certificate of appreciation. And I'd like to give the first one to Nick, and I'd like to read it to you as I present it to him. In appreciation and recognition for your service to the United States of America, we extend our heartfelt thanks to you. It is your unselfish willingness to step forward and serve our country as a member of the armed forces. When you took the oath, you accepted a great responsibility with commitment to defend the Constitution while preserving the freedoms and rights of all of our citizens. This dedication to our fellow man stands tall and exemplifies the courage and bravery of these men and women in the uniform that they demonstrate every day. You are truly role models and are the real heroes in this world. We are proud and grateful for your service. Signed by a very grateful Veteran Service Officer, Roxanne Whitbeck, Dick Quintal from the Select Board, Dennis Russell, Commander of the VFW, and Richie Holbrook, the Commander of the American Legion. Sometimes thank you doesn't seem enough, but thank you, Nick. At this time, I would like to introduce the Plymouth High School Band. Thank you, Bonnie Holmes, for always bringing this talent to our events. They are going to be playing the salute to our heroes, and when they play your service song, if you feel so inclined, please stand and honor your service. was fabulous. Thank you all so much. At this time, I'd like to welcome Dennis Russell, the commander of VFW Post 1822. He'd like to share some of his thoughts of this day and some of the recent events that have been happening in our world. Please welcome Dennis. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Good morning. I don't know if this microphone, if you can hear me. I would first like to say that it's certainly a privilege to be part of today's Veterans Day program. And I'd like to recognize our high school students from both Plymouth North and Plymouth South who are here today to help celebrate and thank veterans for their service. And I want to thank you so much for being here today and for your voices. And we have the Plymouth North, who you heard already. We have Plymouth South, who will be singing God Bless America a little bit later. And we'll ask everyone to join in with them as well. To my left, your right, is the American Legion Honor Guard, tremendous group who supports veterans' needs in so many different ways. To my right, your left, VFW Honor Guard, who again works tirelessly to help veteran needs, even through the COVID times that we had. We never stopped providing food, assistance, and just camaraderie to those in need. And we extended not just to veterans, but to anyone who had a need. So thank you all for that. I also would like to express my appreciation for Melissa, the town manager, Matt, and Dickie, all great friends. And Betty, I'm sorry, it's been a long day, I'll tell you. I got up early, but I did have a nice breakfast at Percy's that was free, so that was a good thing. But I look today as a way to thank veterans and those serving today, and a time to reflect on the freedoms and rights we have as Americans. I'll begin by thanking our veteran agent, Roxanne, right behind me. She does so much for veterans behind the scenes that you don't know. If I go down to her office, the phone is constantly ringing. She's answering, she's taking notes. She's looking at the voice messages that come in. If it's ever over a weekend or whatever, the voice message is full. And she's responding to that. She's got someone waiting and has someone in her office. She never stops. Roxanne, thank you for what you do for us. And to all veterans, both active duty and veterans, men and women, a heartfelt thanks for what you do. And to your families who endure the many challenges while you serve this great country. Think about it. We think about it as veterans when we're away in a place that we cannot communicate with you, but think of you, and we know the hardships that presents. So thank you for supporting us. At this time, a special thank you to Nick Cufraggio and all the men and women who served in Afghanistan. You did a great job. For 20 years, no terrorist attack in the United States came out of Afghanistan. You kept us safe. We are grateful. And the Taliban and Al-Qaeda are not businesslike, as far as I'm concerned. These are my comments. I want to make that clear. I was asked to speak as a Vietnam veteran on my thoughts about the departure from Afghanistan. Many memories returned when comparing to the departure from Vietnam. Anger, betrayal. Why didn't the powers to be allow us to finish the job? And believe me when I say, we don't leave Americans behind. We do not leave Americans behind. I can say with confidence that the men and women in uniform, in their hearts and in their minds, in their souls, do not leave Americans or our allies behind. This is in their spirit, who they are. I'd like to share a personal story with you that expresses the spirit of the American soldier and is evidence that we have each other's six. In layman's terms, we have each other's back. This experience, like many Vietnam veterans have, we just didn't speak about it. You learn quickly upon returning home and being called a baby killer that you need to keep your mouth shut. And I did that for many, many years. But about 8 years ago, my wife and I were watching TV, and a movie that had already started caught my attention. A plane was shot down, and the navigator, we didn't know who was the navigator at the time, survived and was behind enemy front lines in Vietnam. After a while, I turned to my wife, Debbie, who's sitting here in front of me, and said, "Hey, I think they're going to be talking about a golf course." Well, she kind of looked at me. Well, within a short period of time, they did in fact start speaking about a golf course and a downed navigator. Debbie looked at me and said, "Oh, you must have seen this before." I said, "No, I lived it." I guess now is the time to explain. It was 1972, during the Easter Offensive, and we were operating off the coast of North Vietnam, conducting combat and support missions. We began to monitor communications from a downed airman. We didn't know who it was, but the monitoring went on for days. Then our XO said that they were putting together a rescue plan and gathered a bunch of us on the mess decks. He said that there was a downed plane and a survivor. He was looking for men with scuba equipment, diving equipment, and if they wanted, they were to meet him in his stateroom at 1400 hours. I had scuba. And I, at 1400 hours, joined 6 other guys with the XO. He was really quite a character, as I recall. He was from Maine, with that down east Maine accent, as thick as you could imagine. Anyway, he explained that we would take the motor launch, which is a small boat used to bring the men back and forth to the shore. He would use that under the protection of darkness to launch a rescue mission. The airmen would have been given the time and general location to meet. He also said that 50% casualties was a fair estimate and scheduled another meeting for those still interested. We all met again for further briefing. I have to tell you that getting shot was not my greatest concern. We'd been shot at for months, and at 20 years old, you kind of feel invincible. The real fear, though, and I'll say it today, were the sea snakes. we would see these very venomous serpents sunbathing on the surface of the water and the Tonkin Gulf all the time. And it is no exaggeration, 6 to 8 feet long. And they would just be sitting on the top doing their little sunbathing. I wasn't going to give them any sunscreen. I just didn't want to bump into one of them in the darkness. And to tell you the truth, I hate snakes, even those little rubber toy ones. The next day, however, and we were all prepared, the XO and the captain got us together, and he said, "Thank you, men," but the mission had been scrubbed because there was another one in the making. There was a real sense of disappointment shared by all of us. We wouldn't be a part of something that would lead to saving someone's life. But we were ready to go. We continued to monitor the communications, and that's where this golf course talk was heard. We couldn't figure it out at first, but later found out that Lieutenant Colonel Hamilton, he was the down navigator. He was an avid golfer. He had top secret clearance on a lot and would have been a treasure for the enemy to have captured. They wanted him to make his way to a river and used his memory of his favorite golf course to direct him to that rescue location. They would say things like, "You're at the 4th hole. Now go 3 clicks toward the 9th," and so on. And if you Google BAT, B-A-T, 21, Bravo, you can read the entire story. It's very interesting. After almost 2 weeks, and he lost, I believe, over 40 pounds, the navigator was rescued by a Navy SEAL, Tom Norris, and a member of the Arvin, it's the South Vietnamese Army. The rescue was no secret by now. So that they arrived at Dong Ha, a reporter went up to Tom Norris, and he said, "That was a real tough mission. Guess you'd never do that again." To that, Norris replied, "When there is an American down behind enemy lines, yes, I would do that again." This is just one example of the true spirit within each man and woman who wears the uniform. I'll end by saying this. Let the fighting men and women do their job. We guarantee to keep you safe, and we will never, never let you down. For there is no mission we will not complete, and no enemy we will not defeat. Thank you. God bless you. Happy Veterans Day. Thank you.
Dennis is going to present a challenge coin to Nick on behalf of all of us veterans and our gratefulness for your service.
On behalf of everyone here and all veterans and all who may or may not realize how safe you kept us for 20 years, it's an honor and a privilege to present this challenge coin to you.
I also want to share, Nick is going to be a big part of our Thanksgiving parade this year. We've got the Golden Knights, which is a precision parachute jump team from the Army, and they're going to be performing 3 jumps here in Plymouth on that weekend. And on the actual parade day, they're going to jump at the Rock, and they're going to come down with an American flag, and they're going to present that to our hero right here. Pretty special guy, Nick. You're a pretty special guy. Thank you. At this time, we'd like to invite the Plymouth South students to sing God Bless America, and please join them if you'd like. And I would be remiss to also, if I didn't mention another celebration for Nick at the American Legion on December 7th. Nick is going to be the guest of honor for a presentation they're doing there, Comedy and Cocktails, I think it is. Excuse me, December 10th. And it's in coordination with Mike Duggan and Hydrea for Heroes, and it's going to be a great event. So if anybody's looking for some good laughs, I think he's quite funny actually. So it'll be a fun night to spend with Nick. At this time, I'd like to read the proclamation from the governor. Whereas since the Commonwealth's colonial days, thousands of men and women have served our country in defense of freedom and liberty, and whereas on November 11, 1918, the armistice was signed in the forest of Champagne by the Allied nations and Germany, ending World War I, the war that was to end all wars, and after 4 years of conflict. And whereas since that day, every November, people from around the nation have gathered to honor our veterans. And whereas there are approximately 388,000 veterans living in Massachusetts. And whereas today we are reminded of the great sacrifices and contributions our veterans have made to our country. And whereas we honor and salute those who served our country throughout generations with honor, patriotism, courage, and whereas it is appropriate that all Massachusetts citizens remember the bravery of those that have served their country, so that their dedication and sacrifices serve as a reminder of the cost of our freedom. And whereas in November 2021, the world will commemorate the 103rd anniversary of the armistice that ended the fighting of World War I at 11 o'clock. November 18th, 1918, the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. Now, therefore, I, Charles D. Baker, Governor of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, do hereby proclaim November 11th, 2021 to be Veterans Day. Thank you. Thank you. At the end of the ceremony, we would like to invite all the veterans to, when they exit, we have plaques for every veteran, If we run short, I will have more plaques in my office tomorrow. But we would like to present every veteran with a plaque to show our sincere gratitude and appreciation for your service. At this time, I would like to invite Phil Ryan back up for the closing prayer.
And now, dear Heavenly Father, as we go our separate ways, we ask Thee to help us and guide us through all the coming days. Be with us and safely lead us down the service road. We thank Thee for Thy loving care that will help to lighten the load. We thank Thee for Thy blessings. Go with us as we part. See each one safely home and lighten every heart. Amen.
This concludes our ceremony today. I want to thank each and every one of you come out or say thank you to our veterans. We really, really do appreciate it. Have a wonderful day, everybody. God bless.